Hello, Australia. My name is Joaquin de Lima, and I'm your Libertarian candidate in the coming federal election for the division of Macquarie. Today, I want to talk to you about voter apathy. Following politics in Australia for the last few years, one thing that I've learned is that there's two political parties in Australia, the government and the opposition. Doesn't matter the labels that those parties have. In reality, it's the government and the opposition. The opposition promises everything that we want so that we can vote the government out because we don't like them. And then when they get voted in, they become the government, and everything that they promised gets thrown away so that the new opposition can make us new promises so that we can then vote them in, and the cycle goes on and on. I've been looking at the electoral data from the last federal election in 2022. And one thing that I've noticed is the amount of either informal votes, which is invalid votes, votes that have been cast but don't count, or just people not voting at all. Giving the electorate of Macquarie as an example, there was over 16% of the electorate that voted apathetically last election. That's the combination of the informal votes and the people that didn't vote. That would have been enough to change who got elected, flipping the seat from Labor to Liberal. But you're not a fan of the major parties. Why does that make a difference? I looked up the data for all 151 divisions and the Senate across Australia under the same circumstances. What would happen if just the apathetic vote changed? And what it turned out is that it could have changed the lower house. Labor could have been reduced from 77 down to as low as 62. The coalition could have increased as far as 72, and there could have been as many as 25 flips, resulting in a hung parliament. Within those flips, the non-major parties, the independents basically, or the minor parties that hold the balance of power, would have also shifted towards freedom-friendly parties, the UAP and the Liberal Democrats at the time. This would mean that the climate change bill probably wouldn't have passed in its current form. It means that the privacy bill probably wouldn't have passed in its current form, and the misinformation bill probably wouldn't have passed in its current form. And that's not changing how people voted. That's just people who didn't vote or didn't vote effectively. That is the potential impact that you could have had. And I hear you say, well, what if we just waste our vote on a minor party? Well, the way that it works is that as long as you preference a minor party above a major party, and if that minor party gets 4% of the vote, they're entitled to get funding. And that makes a huge difference. Every single division was in double digits of apathetic voters. So if those people, again, people that didn't vote, didn't have their vote count at all, if they voted for a minor party, that minor party would have gained electoral funding in that division. Why does that matter? Well, let's look at today for an example. Today, Peter Dutton announced that if they get back into government, that they will cut the fuel excise in half for 1 year. Our policy is to cut all of it permanently. So you can see that even if minor parties just get a little bit of help and a little bit of funding, the major parties pay attention to that. If you go back to the shenanigans of Epic in Canberra, you'll understand how much of an impact people actually organising and not being apathetic can have. So the purpose of the talk today is just to let you know what an impact your vote can have if you vote consciously and understand what the impact is. That's why in 22, a lot of the freedom parties had an initiative to vote the majors last. Even if you're a major party voter, and that's how you vote. If there is one minor party policy that you would like your major party to adopt, vote that party in front of them. The vote will most likely still go to the party that you support, they will most likely still get in or not. Your vote won't change that much in the sense that it will end up going to them, but you will be pulling them towards the policy that you like. Something to think about, hopefully. I would recommend you go and you look at every minor party's policy platform. You can find ours at lpnewsouthwales.org.au/federal and have a look to see if there's anything at all that you would like your major party to adopt. Preference us in front of them and it might make a difference. See you next time. You made it to the end of the video. If you want to get involved, you can donate to my campaign by going to these links, or otherwise, if you have more time than resources, you can also sign up to volunteer using these links, or if you just otherwise want to join the party, you can join through these links. And as always, this message is authorized by me, Joaquin de Lima, for the Libertarian Party, 2 Lynn Parade, Prestons, New South Wales, 2170.